Good evening. See, today's I'm having a special interview with the ASEAN Secretary General, His Excellency Dr. Kao Kim Hourn. And in the ASEAN Summit meetings today here in Vientiane, Laos, the themes for the ASEAN Summit this year is enhancing connectivity and resilience. Very nice to have you here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
First of all, how are you? How was the meetings? How was the summit today so far?
Well, today is the first day of the 3-day meetings. This morning, our leaders, ASEAN leaders, kick off with the opening of the 44th and 45th ASEAN Summits here in Vientiane, Lao PDR. And it went very well. It was a very successful kickoff. But opening, of course, then the leaders started a plenary session, followed by the retreat of the 45th ASEAN Summit. Then subsequently, of course, leaders had then the phases. First one was with the representatives of the ASEAN Inter-Parliamentary Association, or IPA, and then followed by the interface with the representatives of the ASEAN Business Advisory Council, and after that they had their interface with the representative of the ASEAN Youth. Of course, along with this, they also had their bilateral meetings. There's a lot of bilateral
Must be a very long day today.
Yes.
Okay, so the first questions that I would like to interview you is that during the Indonesia chairmanships 2023 last year, it has been stated that ASEAN's focus on making Southeast Asia stable and peaceful. Specifically, ASEAN must maintain its internal peace in Southeast Asia and in the Indo-Pacific regions. I would like to know, how does ASEAN emphasize its role in connecting member countries amidst tensions in the regions from power outside ASEAN, while still reinforcing the non-interventions principle? Can you share with us your opinion on this?
Well, ASEAN's fundamental goal has always been on the promotion and maintenance of peace, stability, at the same time focusing on economic development, or we call prosperity agenda. So last year, under the Indonesian chairmanship of ASEAN, the theme at the time was ASEAN, the epicentrum of growth. And there were a lot of achievements last year. The launching of the ASEAN Indo-Pacific Forum, for example, and of course the big achievement was the transformation of the work of what we call the ASEAN Indo-Pacific, the AOIP, So with the 4 priorities. This year under Lao chairmanship, I think the theme is very bold, meaning that ASEAN enhancing connectivity and resilience. So the focus, of course, one is on connectivity. Connectivity, of course, in the broader dimension, meaning that in all dimensions, we talk about not just physical connectivity, but go beyond that, meaning connectivity like more air connectivity for tourism industry, connectivity in terms of land, railway, port to port, institution. So there's a broad connectivity. But I think this is something that ASEAN has to continue to strengthen, because after all, the ASEAN community will need a lot of enhancing connectivity. And then resilience, of course, how ASEAN should respond to all the uncertainties, the external shocks, the rising tensions, and so on. So I think the essence of Lao chairmanship is quite significant also.
Thank you very much for your insight. It's clear that maintaining unity by upholding ASEAN's principle is crucial. The next question I would like to ask you is about 5PC. More than 3 years have passed since the issuance of the 5PC. I would like to know your ideas. How do you see the implementations of the 5-point consensus so far?
Well, I'll come back to the early question first. The embassy has been quite significant in terms of, I think we heard quite frequently that ASEAN continue to prioritize unity, solidarity, and ASEAN centrality. So that has been discussed, not only at the level of ASEAN leaders, but also at the level of our ministers as well. So at all levels, this the emphasis and priority is clearly has been articulated. Now, the status of the implementation of 5-point consensus, you know, this year is the 3rd review by the leaders, with the recommendation was reviewed by our minister on how ASEAN collectively should respond to the situation in Myanmar. What more can be done to support Myanmar? The 5-point consensus today remains valid. So the leaders had extensive discussion, and they agree that the 5-point consensus will remain in place. That's how ASEAN will continue to engage with Myanmar. Okay, but at the same time, there has been a call for the scaling up of the humanitarian assistance provision to the people of Myanmar who have been affected by the situation inside the country. So again, this is to support the people. At the same time, it's a call for a de-escalation of violence, and there's a call for to accelerate the inclusive political dialogue. And this is really, the leaders appreciate the role of the ASEAN chair and the special envoy ASEAN chair on Myanmar. The dedication, the commitment, the hard work that have been pushing on this work. Of course, it started since Brunei, Jerusalem, and then Cambodia, followed by Indonesia. This year, of course, Lao PDR. So there's been clearly a strong commitment on for ASEAN to support Myanmar, how to move forward, particularly on this Myanmar-led Myanmar-owned process. So I think it's important for ASEAN is to stay engaged with Myanmar, but at the same time, Myanmar will have to lead their own process.
I see. I really appreciate your perspective on the progress so far, and it's very encouraging to hear that ASEAN remained committed to this goal despite complexities involved. Let's move on to Timor-Leste, and many people want to know about Timor-Leste. Regarding Timor-Leste applications for membership of ASEAN, in your opinions, when Timor-Leste officially become a full member of the ASEAN, how can ASEAN help Timor-Leste diversify its economy?
Well, again, Timor-Leste membership in ASEAN has been discussed by our leaders, beside the ministers, and it's very clear that we follow the roadmap for full membership. So again, there's several new developments. One, of course, the leaders were able to review, and for the first time that we have the report on the progress of full membership for Timor-Leste in ASEAN. The second, of course, is that now Timor-Leste can participate in ASEAN meetings, meaning that yes, as an observer, but yet the representative can speak at ASEAN meetings. Second, of course, what is important is that now that the decision is to allow the ASEAN sectoral bodies, particularly the ASEAN ministerial sectoral bodies, can start engage with Timor-Leste on the accession for full membership on the various agreements and treaties that we have. So the process is ongoing. At the same time, of course, the decision to set up the Timor-Leste unit with ASEAN Secretary in order to support the needs of Timor-Leste. At the same time, how we will continue to assess and monitor the membership. So I think we are focused right now on three things. One is to make sure that Timor-Leste is fully familiarized with the ASEAN process, procedure, the mechanism. So that's why Timor-Leste officials have been invited since last year, and then this year to the various ASEAN meetings. Now, based on the information that we have, for the first 8 months of this year, Timor-Leste send or participate in the ASEAN meetings at least 85%. Yeah, so they have been very active. Second, of course, besides familiarization, Timor-Leste has been participating in the various capacity building programs. So it's important that we provide capacity building. And that's why the ASEAN member states, our partners, external partners, have been very generous, have been engaging to support Timor-Leste, the same thing for the ASEAN Secretary. And third, finally, of course, is now the process that has been launched to negotiate on the ratification of the various agreements. So this is the decision by our leaders, but of course our minister to move on this process.
Do you know exactly which year?
Well, we don't know. We don't know yet. I think it's at the moment it's up to the process of fulfilling the membership requirement. But of course, I think this is something that we have to wait and see when Timor-Leste is ready. But I think I can say that Timor-Leste has been very actively engaging the ASEAN member state on one hand, but the process of becoming a full member.
I see. Thank you very much. And now let's move on to talk about energy. How do ASEAN member states view the energy cooperation and grid integrations among the member states? Is there any general levels of trust among the member states?
Well, this issue has been discussed particularly among the ASEAN economic ministers, also the ASEAN energy ministers. But here at the summit here this morning, the leaders of course also discussed about the energy transition, about the ASEAN power grid. All of it, I think we are on, I believe we are on the right track, that we need to focus and prioritize on the energy connectivity. And I think it's all good for ASEAN as a community, that we have to work together in all sectors, including the energy sector. Particularly, I think we have the commitment to move forward on the clean energy or renewable energy sector here. So I think there is a positive development on this front. Yes.
Thank you very much. Before we end up our interview, I would like to know what specific outcomes or arrangement are you hoping to achieve from this summit in Laos in terms of economics and security cooperations?
Well, clearly, there have been a lot of discussions by our leaders. And today, I can say the ASEAN Summit is already completed by our leaders. Their discussions on a wide range of issues. There's been a lot of positive development there. And before our leaders start to engage with our dialogue partners and of course other partners from tomorrow onward. So today I can say it has been quite successful in terms of issues that our leaders discuss, they exchange views and on various issues. So, well, first of all, the leaders were able to deliberate and focus on how we will address the issue of the enlargement, as in membership enlargement with Timor-Leste. There's a clear guidance, clear direction. Second, on the situation in Myanmar, there's been discussion by our leaders, and again, to give a clear direction where we should be heading in terms of how we can continue to support or to engage with Myanmar. So again, the leaders have given some ideas on how we should move forward. And third, of course, is that of course also the discussion on the economic front, which is a very important issue, particularly that we have to stay focused on the digital economy framework agreement discussion. We have to make sure that we're able to achieve this. The digital economy, the blue economy, the green economy, it's a matter of priority for ASEAN that we have to focus on this priority. And I think that's very important for us. Then at the same time, there have been discussions by our leaders on how to address some of the challenges facing the region, include the impact of climate change, include the transnational crime challenges, for example, and then the geopolitical tension. So I think there's a lot of discussions by our leaders. And what is clear is that there is still a lot of confidence, and of course ASEAN have a clear position as a region, that we have to focus on the unity, solidarity, and central ASEAN in all our undertaking within ASEAN, but also externally. Finally, of course, leaders discuss a lot on external relations, that ASEAN has to remain engaged with our external partners, and it's important that we stay making sure that this is a matter of priority for ASEAN, that we have to keep moving forward on the TAC, the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation Southeast Asia, TAC section, but also the request by our friends and partners outside the region to engage ASEAN even more. So again, I think it's very clear that our leaders give a clear direction that we have to stay engaged, despite the fact that there are a lot of uncertainty globally. And of course, it's to work together within the ASEAN community. And finally, it's of course on the future direction. The leaders are very, I think, optimistic on the completion of the crafting on the ASEAN Community Vision 2045 and the 4 strategic plans that we expect to adopt, that leaders will adopt by next year during the Malaysian chairmanship. So this is a clear cut. There is a clear direction how leaders want to take ASEAN forward.
So thank you very much, His Excellency, for sharing your valuable insight with us today. And we hope to see the ASEAN's continued progress under your leadership, and also Lao PDR chairmanship in 2024. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.